The soju glass shattered against marble. Roxanne Dubois didn't flinch. She'd learned years ago that men like Kang Tae-Jin broke things when words failed them. Rain hammered the windows of the Jade Pavilion, neon from the Koreatown streets bleeding red and gold across wet glass. She refilled his drink, her dark hands steady, her 287-pound frame moving with practiced invisibility. Tae-Jin didn't look at her. They never did. The restaurant hummed with whispered deals and clinking chopsticks. Marble floors. Silk wallpaper. Men in $12,000 suits discussing things that turn people into ghosts. She caught fragments: the Obsidian Ledger, 30 Years of Secrets, names that made senators sweat. Before we start, make sure to hit like and subscribe, and really I'm curious, where are you watching from? Drop your country name in the comments. I love seeing how far our stories travel. Roxanne moved between tables like furniture. Poured water. Cleared plates. Watched. Always watching. 11 years she'd been here, serving kalbi to killers who looked through her like she was air. Her apron pocket held a single titanium collar stay, 5 inches of metal that kept dress shirts crisp. Tonight it would do something else. Her eyes tracked the entrance. The rain changed rhythm. Footsteps too synchronized. Too quiet. Something was coming. Glass exploded inward. 17 men in black tactical gear flooded the dining room, suppressors spitting fire. Screams tore through expensive silence. Tae-Jin's 6 bodyguards reached for weapons they'd never draw. Bullets found skulls. Found hearts. Found the spaces between ribs where life leaked out fast. 3 more assassins kicked through the kitchen. Taiwanese ex-military, moving like sharks. Rooftop snipers took position, red dots painting foreheads. 30 more surrounded the building, jamming phones, killing escape routes. 50 total. Professional. Unstoppable. Guests dropped, crawled, died. Blood spread across white marble like spilled wine. Tae-Jin sat frozen at his corner table, hands folded, watching his empire collapse in real time. Everyone ran. Everyone but Roxanne. She stood near the kitchen door, expression unchanged. Not scared. Not surprised. Calculating. Her hand slid into her apron pocket. The lead assassin crossed the room. Dalibor Kovac, Serbian war criminal, 43 confirmed kills. He pressed his Glock against Roxanne's temple. Down. Now. Or I paint the. She moved. The collar stay appeared in her right hand, 5 inches of titanium catching overhead light. Her left hand trapped his wrist, redirecting the gun toward ceiling. The stay slid across his throat, opening his carotid artery with surgical precision. Blood sprayed hot across her uniform. He didn't scream. Couldn't. Just grabbed his neck, eyes wide, choking on what used to be inside him. The second assassin fired. Roxanne twisted, used Dalibor's collapsing body as a shield. Bullets punched through dead meat. She stepped left, closed distance. The collar stay found the shooter's eye socket, drove through to frontal lobe. He stood there, dead but upright, brain trying to process its own termination. 3 seconds. He dropped. The restaurant went silent. No screams. No gunfire. Just breathing and the wet sound of bodies hitting marble. Dalibor's second-in-command stared at the fat black waitress holding a bloody piece of metal. This wasn't a waitress. Roxanne flowed. Water finding cracks. 10 assassins rushed her, tactical formation, overlapping fields of fire. She grabbed a chair, swung it into the closest knee. Bones shattered. The man screamed, fell. She used his falling body to vault over suppressing fire, landed behind their line. The collar stay found a kidney. A spine. A subclavian artery. She moved through them like physics, not violence. When they bunched, she exploited compression. When they spread, she controlled angles. A wine bottle became a blinding agent, shattered across a face. A table edge became a throat crusher. The architecture itself turned weapon. 30 seconds. 10 men down. She didn't breathe hard. Didn't speak. Just moved, relocated, struck. The collar stay painted red arcs through expensive air. Tendons severed. Pressure points collapsed. Every movement economical, brutal, unstoppable. Deliber's replacement, a Chechen named Sergei, finally understood what he was facing. He'd heard stories. Whispers about an American operative who'd killed 47 enemies in Hanoi using only environmental weapons. Obsidian. The ghost the CIA erased. His voice cracked. You're supposed to be dead. Roxanne's eyes were arctic. Empty. Final. Obsidian. You're the ghost from Hanoi. The name hit her like voltage. Hanoi. 14 years dissolved. She was back in that hotel, blood on tile, her entire team executed while she watched through a crack in the closet door. Her handler, David Chin, standing over the bodies, phone pressed to his ear, selling classified intel to the highest bidder. She'd been 29. CIA's most lethal field agent. Specialized in close-quarters combat, asymmetric warfare, making impossible kills look like accidents. The Hanoi incident made her the scapegoat. Chin fed her to the wolves, branded her rogue, erased her existence. No pension. No identity. No proof she'd ever mattered. But Chen's voice on that phone call mentioned one thing. The Obsidian Ledger. A digital archive containing every dirty deal, every embedded operative, every senator on the take. Proof of his betrayal buried in Korean Mafia files. So Roxanne became invisible. Took a job at the Jade Pavilion. Watched Kang Tae-Jin for 11 years, waiting for the perfect moment to access his ledger. Waiting for him to need her badly enough to give her anything. Sergei raised his gun. Roxanne smiled. Not warmth. Just recognition. Death's been waiting. I had unfinished business. What happens when the world's deadliest ghost finally collects her debt? Will Tae-Jin survive long enough to pay? Grenades rolled across marble. Flashbangs detonated, white light swallowing the world. Smoke choked the air thick and chemical. The remaining 30 assassins coordinated full assault, suppressing fire from 3 angles, tactical formations designed to kill Navy SEALs. Roxanne dropped low. A bullet grazed her shoulder, burning fabric, kissing skin. She grabbed a fallen Glock, fired twice without looking. 2 headshots. Muscle memory from a life the CIA said never existed. She moved through smoke like a predator born in it. The collar stay found throats. Spines. The soft space behind the jaw where steel slides into brain stem. Men dropped faster than they could process dying. A Kevlar vest stopped her thrust. She adjusted, drove the stay through his eye instead. Used his body to shield against crossfire, shoved him forward into his own team. 11 minutes of hell compressed into poetry. Chairs became clubs. Shattered plates became shrapnel. She turned their tactics against them, made their training irrelevant. The last assassin's neck snapped with a wet crack. Silence. 50 bodies sprawled across blood-slicked marble. One woman standing, collar stay dripping red onto designer shoes. Kang Tae-Jin sat frozen. Blood painted his $12,000 suit, none of it his. Smoke curled toward cathedral ceilings. The waitress he'd ignored for 11 years stood 10 feet away, holding a piece of metal that had just ended 50 lives. His bodyguards were dead. His empire hung by a thread. And she hadn't even broken a sweat. Roxanne crossed the room. Each footstep echoed. The collar stay caught overhead light, dripping slow and steady. Drip. 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 Tae-Jin's throat worked. No words came. Just recognition. Just terror wrapped in expensive cologne and old money. She stopped inches from his table. Looked down at him like he was nothing. Like he'd always been nothing. You have something I need. Her voice was winter. Final. And now you owe me everything. Tae-Jin found his voice. Barely. What do you want? The Obsidian Ledger. Roxanne dropped the collar stay onto his plate. It clattered against porcelain, still wet. 14 years ago, my CIA handler sold me out. David Chen. He mentioned your ledger on a phone call while my team bled out in Hanoi. Tae-Jin's eyes widened. You've been here 11 years. Watching. Waiting. Studying. She pulled out a chair, sat like she owned the building. Maybe she did now. I needed you desperate. Needed you to understand what it means to owe your life to someone the world taught you to ignore. You could have killed me. Taken it any time. Roxanne smiled. No warmth. Just acknowledgement of a question she'd expected. Why didn't I just kill you and take it? Because revenge rushed is revenge wasted. Roxanne leaned forward. Blood spattered her uniform, her face, her hands. She looked like war itself. I needed you broken. Desperate. Grateful. I needed you to give it freely. Tae-Jin stared at this woman who'd been invisible for over a decade. This ghost who'd just saved his life by ending 50 others. Power recognized power. Predator recognized apex. Take it. All of it. His voice cracked. Submission felt strange on his tongue. The ledger. The files. Whatever you need. For the first time in 14 years, Roxanne smiled. Real. Human. Devastating. Tae-Jin's phone unlocked the vault. Digital files downloaded onto Roxanne's encrypted drive. 30 years of secrets. Proof of Chen's betrayal. Names. Dates. Transactions that could end governments. Police sirens wailed closer. Red and blue lights painted rain-soaked streets. Roxanne stood, pocketed the drive. Walked toward the kitchen without looking back. Tae-Jin called after her, desperate. What now? She paused at the threshold. Smoke and blood and expensive ruin behind her. Freedom ahead. The world ignored me once. Her voice carried through the carnage. That was their last mistake. She vanished into the kitchen, into the rain, into the night that had always been hers. Gone like she never existed at all. Did Roxanne's patience finally pay off? What will she do with the power she's claimed? Subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss the next story that inspires. Drop your thoughts in the comments and inspire others with what revenge, patience, and invisible power mean to you.